If you're over 60, this episode will change how you sleep as soon as tonight. Now imagine this. You finally lie down after a long day. Your body feels tired, but your mind refuses to slow. You shift your legs. Your lower back feels tight. You watch the clock glow in the dark as the minutes turn into hours. Suddenly it's 2 a.m. and sleep still hasn't come. What's going wrong? Here's what most people are never told about sleep after 60. A major Japanese study published in 2021 by the University of Tokyo's Department of Geriatric Medicine found that more than 70% of adults over 60 did not experience sleep disruption because of aging itself. Instead, researchers linked poor sleep to unreleased nervous system tension and heightened nighttime stress signaling, which conventional sleep recommendations failed to address. And there is more. Seniors who reported the deepest, most refreshing sleep all shared one habit. Before bed, they practiced a small set of 3 simple 60-second stretches that most doctors never talk about. And Japan's oldest practicing doctor decided to test those exact movements in a clinical program with more than 500 seniors. After only 2 weeks, over 75% were falling asleep faster and waking with less stiffness and discomfort. And in today's conversation, he's going to guide you through the same process. Welcome back to the Senior Health Podcast. Doctor, I've truly been anticipating this conversation.
Thank you, John. This episode resonates because of its simplicity. There's no equipment, no difficult poses, and nothing that strains the body. Just slow, gentle movements that anyone can do at home before bed. And this isn't really about flexibility. It's about the difference between easing into sleep early in the night or lying awake hours later, tense and restless.
That really lands. Because for so many people I see, sleep is about more than rest. It represents peace, recovery, feeling secure in your own body again. So if you're listening right now, I encourage you to stay with us until the end.
Exactly. I've spent decades working with seniors, and most are not dealing with true insomnia. They're carrying tension that never gets released. Their bodies aren't exhausted, they're overstimulated, and by following today's steps, many will feel a shift before they even go to bed tonight. But before we start, I want to know from everyone how quick you fall asleep. Comment a 1 if you fall asleep within 10 minutes, and comment a 2 if it takes you longer.
For me, it takes over 30 minutes sometimes. So tell us, what can we expect from this session?
In a few minutes, we'll walk through the same stretch sequence I give my own patients. We'll begin seated with a breathing method used to calm the stress response quickly. Then we'll move into a few gentle movements you can do in bed to reset the nervous system. And at the end, I'll show a resting position that lowers cortisol and clearly signals the brain that it's time to sleep.
I cannot wait to dive into the first step. But first, I have just one very important question everyone needs to hear. Why does falling asleep become so difficult after 60? What's actually changing in the brain and body when that sleep rhythm starts to break down?
It starts long before people ever call it insomnia, John. After 60, the nervous system, especially the part that's meant to slow you down at night, doesn't respond as smoothly as it once did. Not because something is wrong with you, but because the brain gradually stops prioritizing deep recovery. Years of constant stimulation train the body to stay alert, and the body learns tension just as easily as it learns relaxation.
That resonates deeply. I hear it all the time, but I walk every evening, and I tell them, yes, but movement alone doesn't reset the stress response. It doesn't tell the nervous system that it's safe to let go.
Exactly. Real rest isn't simply falling asleep. It's the ability to enter a state of calm. And that's a skill. It depends on how you breathe, how you hold your body, and how gently you move before bed. Most people are never taught that the body can relearn how to fall asleep once it receives the right signals and that requires retraining both the muscles and the mind together.
So it's not only happening in the mind, it's happening in the body as well.
Yes, the breath and the body act like remote controls for the brain. That's why I don't just offer sleep advice. I guide the nervous system itself. So let's start, shall we?
That's such a powerful way to look at it. We talk about winding down, but almost no one is shown how to actually do that. So go ahead, doctor. Where do we begin?
Before we move a single joint or stretch any muscle, we always begin with the breath. In Japanese medicine, sleep has never been seen as something the body can force. It begins higher up in the nervous system and the sense of inner quiet. One of the fastest ways to invite that calm is through a steady breathing pattern, long taught in Japanese healing traditions and now widely known as box breathing.
I've heard the term before, but I don't think most people really understand why it works.
That's true, John. It sounds technical, but it's actually very human. Clinicians use it. Therapists use it. Even military units use it, not to prepare for action, but to bring the brain out of danger mode. Its real purpose is to tell the nervous system that the emergency is over. In fact, a 2019 study from Keio University School of Medicine in Tokyo found that slow, rhythmic breathing significantly reduced sympathetic nervous system activity and lowered heart rate variability markers associated with stress in older adults within just a few minutes.
So walk us through it in simple terms.
It's very straightforward. You breathe in slowly for 4 seconds. Then you hold that breath for 4. After you breathe out for 4, and lastly you pause for 4 before the next inhale. That's one cycle. You repeat it 4 or 5 times. As you do, heart rate begins to settle, stress hormones decrease, and the mental noise starts to soften.
I've seen it work firsthand. Patients tell me their racing thoughts soften the moment they lie down. No medication, no effort, just rhythm.
Exactly. And the most important part is not pushing the breath. You're guiding it, almost like leading a child by the hand. Slower is better. Quieter is better. Sit comfortably on the edge of your bed. Rest your hands on your lap and let your eyes close naturally. The breath should move low into the belly, not high into the chest. That's how the body recognizes calm.
And that sends a signal through the vagus nerve that everything is okay.
Yes, that single signal has been shown in multiple studies to lower blood pressure and reduce anxiety within minutes. The body hears that message very clearly.
So this isn't just about feeling relaxed. It's about shifting the body out of fight or flight and back into rest and repair.
Right, and we do this with just 4 rounds. Inhale, hold, exhale, pause, no rush, no strain. Let the rhythm carry you.
And if someone wants to go a little further with it,
then extend it to 5 minutes. Many of my patients tell me that's when the real change happens. Their thoughts slow down, their jaw loosens, their shoulders drop, and sleep begins to feel closer, not forced but invited.
that's powerful. And now that the nervous system has started to settle, where do we go next? What's the first physical step that helps the body follow the mind into sleep?
Now we gently introduce movement, and we begin at the top of the body, with the shoulders. This is intentional. When stress builds up, this is one of the first places it settles. The shoulders quietly lift, posture tightens, and relaxation becomes harder without us realizing why. So we begin by rolling them, backward, then forward, slowly, with no force.
It seems simple to me on the surface, but there's more happening beneath it, isn't there?
Yes, shoulder rolls do far more than loosen muscles. They create space in the upper spine, improve circulation through the neck and shoulders, and most importantly, they begin to synchronize movement with breath. That coordination is essential. You're not just moving joints, you're re-establishing communication between the nervous system and the body.
And it's also one of those movements people gradually stop doing without noticing, until one day they realize they can't turn their head comfortably or lie flat without tension.
Exactly. That's why I want people to be very specific here. Sit upright, either on the edge of your bed or in a chair. Place your feet flat on the floor. Let your hands rest gently on your thighs. From there, begin rolling the shoulders backward in a slow, complete circle. Take your time. Each roll should last about 3 to 4 seconds. Do 6 to 8 rolls backward. Then pause briefly and repeat the same number, rolling forward. That brings us to 60 seconds in total.
And the breath stays involved the whole time.
Yes, let the breath follow the movement naturally. Inhale as the shoulders lift, exhale as they drop. No forcing, no stretching for range. The goal is awareness, not effort.
So it's less about doing it perfectly and more about staying connected to what you feel.
That's right. If you notice stiffness or unevenness, that's not a problem. You're not trying to push tension away. You're simply allowing it to release at its own pace. Over time, that gentle invitation becomes a habit the body recognizes.
What I like about this is how accessible it is. You can do it sitting or even lying back slightly in bed, and it clearly tells the body, we're slowing down now.
Exactly. You're teaching the body how to shift gears. When this movement becomes part of your nightly routine, the nervous system learns the signal faster each time. Think of it like lowering a dimmer switch. Each night, the light softens a little more.
So once the shoulders have released and the breath has settled, where does the stretch journey move next?
Okay, so now we move inward. This next movement is often called the bear hug, and while it looks simple, its effects go much deeper than most people expect. It gently opens the upper back, softens the chest, and activates the muscles that support the spine. But just as importantly, it has a calming emotional effect. Hugging yourself sends a powerful signal of safety to the nervous system.
That makes a lot of sense. It feels like giving the body permission to let go. So how does it work?
Well, I want people to approach this with kindness. You can remain seated, or if you prefer, lie back slightly against pillows. Then gently cross your arms over your chest. It doesn't matter which arm is on top. Choose what feels natural in your body today. And from that position, simply hold yourself. Take a slow breath in through the nose. As you exhale, allow the elbows to draw just a little closer without forcing. Let the upper back gently widen. Stay here for about 20 seconds, breathing slowly and evenly.
So this isn't about stretching farther. It's about settling deeper.
Correct. This is not a movement for range. It's a movement for reconnection. You're telling your nervous system, we're safe now. You don't need to stay guarded.
Would you recommend switching sides?
Yes. After 1 or 2 slow breaths, gently change which arm is on top. Then repeat the same process. Hold, inhale, exhale slowly, release. Many people notice a subtle spreading sensation between the shoulder blades. That's a good sign. It means the upper back and connective tissue are beginning to soften.
John, it's remarkable how something so small can create such a noticeable shift, and again, that it can be done in 60 seconds. And I cannot wait to hear about the next stretch.
The most effective movements are often the gentlest ones. They work with the body and not against it. This one helps improve posture, eases that forward rounding many people develop over time, and quiets the chest, which is where anxiety often settles before sleep, and next stretch will even get better.
Okay, what comes next in the sequence?
It is time to lay down now, John. This naturally shifts the nervous system towards sleep. It grounds the body, eases tension through the spine and invites the breath to deepen without effort. I always suggest lying flat on your back. Your knees can be bent or straight, whatever feels most comfortable. If your lower back needs support, place a pillow underneath the knees. Let your arms rest beside you with the palms facing up. That position alone tells the body it's safe to release.
All right, got it. What do we do next?
From this resting position, we begin with a very small but meaningful movement with our head. Just slowly turn your head to the right, then return to center, then gently to the left and back again. Move with your breath. There's no rush. Do this a few times. This releases deep tension around the neck and the base of the skull, an area where many people unknowingly store stress.
And that must also communicate with balance and orientation systems.
Yes, it does. This movement speaks to the eyes, the inner ear, and the balance center of the brain. It tells the nervous system that it's time to slow down and stop scanning the environment.
And once the head and neck have softened, the body can go a little deeper.
Exactly. After the head turns, bend both knees so your feet rest flat on the bed. From here, gently let your knees sway from side to side. There's no destination here. Just allow the movement to flow like a slow wave. Do this for 30 seconds up to 1 full minute. This decompresses the lower spine and gently mobilizes the hips and sacroiliac joints, which often hold residual tension from the day.
It's such a contrast to how most people think about preparing for sleep.
It really is. People often focus on supplements, screens, or the room itself, but this approach is about restoring the body's own ability to rest.
That really does feel like drifting toward rest. But for people who sit a lot or carry stiffness in the hips and legs, the lower body can stay tense even when the upper body relaxes. Is there something we can do to support that?
Yes. This is where the hamstring release becomes very important. Tight hamstrings are common after 60, and when they shorten, they pull on the pelvis and lower spine. That tension can stay active even while lying down and interfere with sleep. This gentle stretch helps unwind that pull and allows the legs to fully relax.
And this can be adjusted for different comfort levels?
Exactly. Lie on your back with one knee bent and the other leg gently lifted. Hold behind the thigh or calf, not the foot. If it feels too strong, bend the knee slightly or use a towel behind the thigh for support. The goal isn't how far the leg goes. It's how calm the body feels.
So we're not chasing flexibility here.
No, we're inviting release. We hold for about 30 seconds while breathing slowly, then switch sides. It's normal for one leg to feel tighter than the other. That's just information, not a problem.
And when the legs let go, the body can settle more deeply.
Exactly. When the lower body softens, the nervous system finds it much easier to stay in rest.
Okay, but we are not finished yet, right?
Correct. To complete that signal and guide the nervous system fully into rest, we finish with the hips. Specifically, we use a gentle passive position where the soles of the feet come together and we let the knees fall open. This stretch is well known for easing the inner thighs and pelvis, but its deeper effect is neurological. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the branch responsible for rest and digestion. By holding this position and breathing slowly, you give the brain a clear message that the day is over.
How long should someone stay there?
Begin with about 30 seconds and, if it feels comfortable, work up to 1 or 2 minutes. If the knees don't naturally fall open, place pillows underneath for support. This is not about forcing range. It's about allowing gravity to do the work. And as always, let the breath remain slow and steady.
That really ties everything together. Movement without strain, breath without effort.
Exactly. That principle runs through the entire sequence. When the body feels supported, it knows how to let go.
And once that's done,
Then we finish with a full body stretch. Let the arms reach gently overhead and the legs extend long, as if the body is lengthening in both directions. This releases any remaining tension and allows the lungs to open one last time. Some people like to softly pedal the feet or circle the wrists here. There's no rule. Simply follow what feels good. You've done the work.
amazing doctor, I think we can all fall asleep now, but before doing so, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Oh, and watch this next video right now.
Yes, please.
We've picked this one especially for you.